Hi there, this is Saeed with The Bloom Show, brought to you by New Bloom Solutions of Overall Flowers. And I haven't mentioned it, but it is in collaboration with Blumundi from Adam Mays. He's working really hard behind the scenes to make sure that this is high quality, and you'll see that the footage is different. It's just really cool stuff, and I believe it's innovative, so really excited to have him as a part of this team and joining us. And today we are at Next Gen. It's a special episode of Next Gen Live. It's an event hosted by SAF, Society of American Florists, done here in Miami for the first time ever. And it's really interesting because it's 45 years and younger where they're focusing on that. And today we've had the format that we've done for the show is really bringing in different people that are doing presentations to give us a behind the scene look into their presentation. So you kind of see what you missed out on this year and see what you could expect for next year, as I believe they're going to continue to do it. They had over 160 people show up for this event, and it comes to the testament of the quality of the content and also of the movement. You know, the youth and the next gen are calling for it, so it's super cool. And today I do have the pleasure of actually, now I'm interviewing you, right?
Yeah, right.
Ellie LaFever. We have Ellie LaFever and Lori Wilson from the Flower Clique, which is a really cool startup. I'll call it a startup, but that's okay.
Perfect.
A really, really cool startup, technology as well. But they really build a community around what they do. And I think it's a great fit for Next Gen because that's really what you're doing as well. You're setting up the floors for Next Gen. But thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. So, Lori, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said, my name is Lori Wilson. I am the director of community for Flower Clique, and we are a startup, but we are going on year 3 of a startup, so we have a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah.
And my job there is just to keep our members feeling like this is a cohesive community. Anytime they need something, they're going to call me, and I'm going to either solve the problem or find somebody else that can. So that's.
You also do a lot of training.
I do a lot of sales training, and I do a lot. We shoot a lot of courses. We have a lot of online courses that even non-members can purchase, and so I'm always part of those. But I really kind of specialize in the customer service sales training.
And if I may say, your courses are really cool because they're basically training people before they're trained at a wholesaler or at a flower shop, right?
Right. And a lot of people take a couple of our courses and combine them as their onboarding process for new employees. So it just saves them a lot of time of having to do the one-on-one.
Next Gen.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you?
That's right. I'm Ellie LaFever. I'm the creative director at Flower Clique. I'm a second generation in the industry. So I have my mom on the retail side who had a shop for 20 years, and I grew up in the shop and did all of that. And then I also have my brother on the wholesale side. So I'm in this industry for the long haul, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you again for being here, both of you. And to the audience, thank you for being here. And as well, please feel free to ask any questions and chime in and give a supportive hoo-hoo if you like as well. It's always good to hear from you guys as well. So let's jump right into it. I know you kind of said a little bit about your company, but tell us a little bit more because there's so many layers to your company. It's super cool.
There are, and that is sometimes our biggest problem. We never know where to start, so we don't overwhelm. But what I can say is, again, from my part, we have a lot of online training courses. We do a lot of coaching. We have, I would say, 4 of us are coaches that are constantly having conversations with either our members or one of their employees and helping them navigate this industry.
We're also a service-based membership. So we do a ton with e-commerce growth and profitability, a lot of product development with recipes and a whole portal of, we do email marketing, we do a little bit of social, things that help your business grow, especially, we call ourselves another employee of yours or a part-time employee or even, full-time employee, let's be honest. So we just do a lot to support the local retail florist. And in turn, they get service and then they also get community. So, we have monthly meetings where everybody gets to get together and talk about issues they have or finding solutions. And it's really a good collaboration
Right.
for the retail florist.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Oh,
I want to give you a shout out.
thank you. So Vonda, the owner of Flower
Yeah.
Clique, and her mother and my friend, we started a podcast. We're going on year 3.
Okay.
It's called The Business and Pleasure of Flowers. So Vonda is very business minded. I am not. I love to do all of the other things. So because we are so different, I think it works. We have a lot of fun. I was telling you earlier, one of my goals on almost every podcast is to just throw something out and
Yes.
try to get her to laugh.
Yes.
And so we're loving it. We're getting a lot of great feedback. You never know what ours is. When we started it, her goal was to keep it like no more than 30 minutes,
Okay.
which she kept visualizing delivery drivers driving, owners having to go do
Gotcha.
deliveries,
Errands,
to being able to
yeah.
listen to the whole thing
Yeah.
instead of half of it and then never
Exactly.
getting back to the
Exactly.
other half.
Yeah.
So
And it's a great energy. I tell you.
yeah, you
10
were on it.
times.
We had a great time.
I've told you 20 times. I
Yes.
know I've overdone it, but
Yeah.
when I was on it, just the energy felt like you were very welcome. So
Yeah.
so it comes off on the podcast. So please check it out. What is it called again?
It's called The Business and Pleasure of Flowers, and it's
Business and
on,
Pleasure of Flowers.
all of the channels you would
Yes.
look for.
There you go.
Subscribe.
Yes.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ding ding.
Yeah.
And then, so tell us a little bit about your presentation. Tell us. I chimed
we
in.
just
I went
did,
in,
right?
but it was really cool. You had a QR code. You
Yep.
took it up a notch, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that whole presentation.
So I'll tell how it got started, and then
Okay.
maybe she can tell about what all we did. So about a year ago, Ellie and I were creating like a little mini online course for just our members, and we
Okay.
were going to call it Boss's Bonus. We had this big idea. We weren't quite sure how we were going to accomplish it. But we knew there was a need for bosses to be able to manage their team better. So I came across this book and I shared it with her, and she had already heard about it. And it's by Gretchen Rubin, and it was called The Happiness Project. And in it, she kept talking about the 4 tendencies, and the tendencies were things that are in ways that are ingrained in us
Yeah.
on how we respond to expectation. Also, whether it's outwardly, like from your boss,
Mhm.
or inwardly, how my internal brain talks to myself. So there are upholders, there are obligers, there are questioners, and there are rebels. So that was our base, our starting point. And we just had so much fun with it. So when Laura Weaver asked if we wanted to speak,
Yep.
we were like, oh my gosh, we should like deep dive into these tendencies and just see if anyone wants to learn about them.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a really helpful tool in discovering how you operate and how other people operate.
Yeah.
So it's all about inner and outer expectations, like you said. So it's a really great tool in
Right.
your business and in your personal life, in any relationship that you encounter
Right.
within your life. And I think it's very simple. There are only 4. It's,
Right.
you don't maybe fit into one box completely, but maybe that is your natural response
Right,
to things.
exactly.
As a rebel, for
Right.
instance, when somebody asks me to do something, my natural tendency, my natural response would be to say no.
Right.
And that's just deeply ingrained.
Thank you for
Right.
saying yes to this show.
Yes, exactly.
Of course. Whereas Lori is an
I'm the exact
obliger.
opposite.
If somebody asks her to do something, immediately she says yes because she responds to that outer expectation. She
Right.
wants to make other people happy.
Right.
Whereas if it does not align with my goals or my true self,
Right.
as they say, then I have reluctancy on
Right.
do I want to do this or not. So
Right.
it's just kind of keys into ways that people function, and when you know how somebody else, like one of them is a questioner,
Right.
and as a non-questioner, my boyfriend who's a questioner, I can get very annoyed when he's asking 20 questions. And when you're conscious of that, oh, he's a questioner. It makes
Right.
sense. He
It's
needs
not
to
his
know-
fault.
He needs to know the why behind absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And to just recognize that, you don't need a year-long study on this, right? You
Right.
just need an hour session and read the book, and it really helps you, gives you perspective into how to lead and how to manage your relationships better.
And I think it's something you and I had mentioned yesterday.
We did.
It's a love language.
It is love language.
It's what
It's
it
just
is.
what makes you tick,
That's what
how
it
you
is.
respond best. And I think that the cool thing going through this book and creating our own curriculum from it, I am going through how to use it in my work life and in my home life,
Yes.
you know, as being a mom or being a wife, and even extended family and friends, like your social club, who you hang out with, being able to figure out everyone's
Emotional
tendency
intelligence,
there and being able to speak it to them, right?
In their way,
To better
Speak into
communicate.
them,
Speak into them,
Makes all the sense in the world. My wife is going through her master's now.
Okay.
So now she knows how to deal with me a little bit.
Yes, exactly. There you go. There you go.
She knows, okay, this is the way you do it.
Yes.
Pat on the back, you know, move on.
You can't help how you are. So,
That's it. That's it. So, sorry. So have you ever, I guess there's a specific question or a couple questions, right?
Okay.
And I'll go through them real quick and you'll answer in your way. Why won't my employees, so people are asking if they're struggling with the following questions. Why won't my employees do what I want them to do?
Right.
You have to repeat yourself 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Why does my boss have to micromanage me?
Right.
And sometimes it's the other way around. Why do I have to micromanage my employees? How can my team become more effective in less time, efficiency? And why is there so much conflict amongst my team? And I understand that these are questions that came from your...
Right. So these are questions that were our base for developing this curriculum.
Okay.
Those are the 4 questions that we hear over and over and over and over in this industry. And Ellie has a perfect answer for all of them.
Yeah, it's a good news, bad news situation.
Yeah.
It starts with you, right? It's how you respond and how you
Yeah, every one of those questions can be answered. It's about because of you.
So it's about the person.
Right. You
that has
have
that
to
feeling.
understand why your boss micromanages you.
Okay.
You need to understand, well, it's because he's an upholder and he's probably struggling, and maybe you're a
struggling with
questioner
control.
or maybe you're a rebel and he doesn't trust you yet because he can't speak your language and you can't speak his because you don't know what it is.
Exactly.
And now you do. So once you start speaking into his life the way he needs you to, he can reciprocate.
Makes sense.
So
Makes sense. But it's hard to get there, right?
it is really
It's not
hard
easy
to
to
get
get there.
there.
It's practice.
Yeah.
You know?
And you have to want to, right? I mean, that's one of the things Ellie asked them. She goes, "We are asking everyone in this audience to be selfish for 1 hour."
Yes, talk about it.
Some people that's going to be easier than others. Obligers, we don't meet inner expectations, so it's never about us. But you have to. I mean, you have to take time to work on yourself before you can work on others.
That's true, and make it a habit.
Right.
Make it a habit.
Yes. Well, Gretchen Rubin wrote a book about habits, didn't she? Isn't that the other book you like? Better Than Before.
Yep.
It's another really
So
good.
something I've just learned, which is talking about habits, is if you do something for 21 days, you have an opportunity of making it a habit.
Yes.
And for some people like myself, I work well on goals. So 21 days, and it's worked.
Wow.
It's worked so far.
That's
So
very
you do it for
cool.
21 days, and it's my favorite number. believe it or
Yeah.
not. So
Wow.
I stick
What
to it.
tendency do you think you are? I'm trying to
I didn't
decide.
really see. I
Okay.
think I'm a questioner.
I think you might be
I'm
a
here.
questioner.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here, so
I think
I
you
think,
are.
I think I'm a questioner, and it's funny. I did the quick survey, but
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
finish it. But I'm that kid in class that will ask the same questions 3 different ways while other kids want to leave class.
Yes.
And
Yes.
shut up. don't answer
Right,
the question, You know,
You are the one.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
always.
To know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to know. Need to be informed. Need to.
You're the one
You're
that the
aligned
teacher.
Why is
with
it ticking?
where you're supposed to be.
I guess
Right.
so. Yeah. That's
Right.
that's it. Embracing it, right?
Right.
Embracing
Yeah.
it.
Exactly.
And now to all the bullies in class.
Right.
You're the reason the teacher had to implement that. Only allowing 3
3
questions.
questions. Yeah. I would get mad.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm here to
Exactly.
learn. That's the way I learn.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so getting into Next Gen, you know, how is it that your companies bring in Next Gen and embrace that in the
Right.
culture of Next Gen?
Right. Well, we have
The
our
next
next
I'm
gen.
just
gen.
excited that
Yeah.
we're here, that we can support, you know,
Yeah.
we're at the expo, we were able to
Go out
present.
with them.
But I mean, this is only the first one. It's only gonna
Yes,
get bigger,
bigger
and
and bigger.
better.
Yeah.
And I'm like so excited because
Exactly.
I have grown up in this industry. I've been around people that are much older than me, and now I have my people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
now we are the future leaders.
Makes sense.
And it's crazy. It's great.
It
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
And what do your companies do intentionally? What do you do within your company culture Because what you do in educating florists, you're
Right.
setting up the next gen anyway.
Right.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
kind of your business is next gen
Right.
because of the supportive technology,
Absolutely.
because that's all next gen. So
Right.
what
Yeah.
can you give examples of how?
So within our online courses, I think that's the biggest thing is because we want the local florists to survive, right? We don't want
Right.
them. So in order to carry on those traditions and those businesses, you have to have the next generation
Yeah.
that comes in. And so through our online courses, Flower Prep School, Sales Prep School, Sympathy Prep School, we have another one coming.
Right.
You're enabling the owner of the shop or
Right.
the business to be able to educate them in a way when maybe they don't have the time or they don't want to take the time.
Yep.
We can step in and and help them, right? Because we want people to be intrigued by the floral industry.
Exactly.
You know, it's not a direct major in college,
No.
first and most.
Right.
So it's like, how can we get the word out? How can we, make people fall in love with flowers and see how great it is? And
Right.
so one of them is definitely through our courses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am the youngest at the company. We're a startup, we're small, but we are growing. And so if you would like to be a part of us in some way, we would love to have you.
Mhm.
I am always needing help with marketing and social and branding. So come on in.
Right.
Go on in. So
When we were at AIFD a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
I had a lot of conversations with like my generation and older. And one of the things I would bring up, because we knew we were coming here, was, there's a gap in this industry
Yeah.
of an age gap. There are, a lot of people
Yep.
50 and older. There's a few 30s and 40s. And then, and so when I first heard about Next Gen, I was so excited, mostly for
Likewise.
Ellie. I was like, you're gonna have friends, And so we're big believers in this. We need to encourage people that even if you're thinking about, oh, that might be a cool industry, reach
send
out,
your
come to
employees,
Next
send your
Gen.
people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we encourage people to recruit outside of our industry.
Absolutely.
Look at supermarkets,
Yes.
bartenders.
Exactly.
Look at that perspective because
Mhm.
they'll bring experience that will really benefit a
Absolutely.
wholesaler or a retailer.
I agree.
Which is super exciting. And then fun questions.
All right.
Just
Fun
fun
questions.
We'll start with you first, Laura.
Okay.
Favorite color?
Pink.
Well,
Pink.
okay, pretty
love
obvious.
Pink.
Dog, cat, or plants?
Dog.
Dog.
My little rescue named Bo, who I know misses
Oh,
me this
how
week.
big is he?
So,
Little-
well, he has a bit of a weight problem. Right
Okay,
now. We're working on
that happens. He's living a good life.
He's he should only be about 15 pounds. I think he's around 17. So,
Oh,
but you know what? He
2
gained a
pounds,
little
all right.
COVID weight.
Around the hip?
Yeah,
Around the hips?
yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah. But he's doing great.
Favorite song?
Favorite song? You know what? I'm a big Fleetwood Mac. I'm probably dating.
Nice.
Am I dating
Okay.
myself?
No, you're
So
good, you're good.
Landslide. I could listen to that song every day.
Most interesting job you've ever had?
Well, I used to work for, I was assistant director of marketing and promotions back in the 90s for the Oklahoma City basketball team.
That can be
So
fun.
I was in charge of auditioning people for the halftime acts.
Nice.
It was a pretty
Nice.
fun job,
Wow.
but it worked a lot of late nights. And
Did you have a big buzzer, big extra?
yeah, I was that person down on the floor with the big headsets.
Okay.
That was me. And I was next to the guy in charge of the cassette tapes
Oof.
for the music.
Okay.
And it was fun. I was young and it was nothing to stay up working till 1 a.m.
And that's something interesting that many people don't know about you. But the other question is something interesting and fun fact that people don't know about you.
Oh gosh, another interesting fun fact.
Yours yesterday was a ski instructor.
Oh yeah. That was when
You were a ski instructor as
I was
well?
in college.
Okay.
A couple friends and I would go every Christmas and Thanksgiving to make money, and I went to college at University of Oklahoma. We would drive to New Mexico, to Taos and Red River, New Mexico, and we would be ski instructors. And we would make a lot of money
Cool.
just from that short period of time. And it was
Entrepreneurial
great.
spirit.
It was great, and you just room with 10 other people because you're in college and it didn't matter.
You
But
make good money and you party
and
a little
I
bit.
love, got to ski for free.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a win-win.
Can't think
So-
of anything about that. And how about yourself? So
Okay.
what's your favorite color?
Pink.
Dog,
Dog.
cat or plant?
Dog. My little Chiweenie Roma.
Roma.
Yeah.
All right.
My baby.
A little sausage dog or wiener dog. Favorite dog, favorite color, favorite song.
Favorite song, I got to go with "Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears.
Oh, that is a good one.
I remember it was my first
Yes.
CD when I was like 8 years
Yeah.
old. It was my first concert. I mean,
Oh my
can't
God.
go wrong.
Most interesting job you ever had.
So when I was in college, I was interning for a photographer and learning styling and all of that. And they needed somebody to be the mall photographer for the Easter Bunny.
Oh,
Okay.
So
look at the camera guy shaking his
I
head.
was the photographer, but one day my bunny didn't show up. So I had to be the bunny.
Oh,
And a
nice.
photographer at the same time.
No, I had an assistant.
Okay.
Assistant didn't want the bunny, so I
You did.
talked to the bunny,
Team.
and it was memorable.
That is
That
great.
is awesome. Great story. Thanks for sharing. And what's one thing, fun fact that no one knows about you that we will find out today?
Mine yesterday. Should I say that?
Yes.
I was the first IVF baby in Illinois. So
That is cool. I
Wow.
heard about
Very
that. That's
cool.
a big deal. That is you're first at something, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
You're a legend. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us today. It's
Yes.
always a great energy. You
Yes.
guys, great chemistry.
Great.
Truly appreciate it. Thank you for your time and hope to see. Are you guys coming next year? What did you
Oh,
think about
of
that?
course.
It was
It was really
awesome,
fun.
and there's gonna be more fun tonight
Yes,
too.
exactly.
So there's some
Exactly.
surprises
And now
tonight.
that our presentation's over, we
Now
will
you
have
get
fun
to chill
tonight.
out and enjoy it.
Time for a
Right?
drink.
Exactly.
Time for a drink. Yeah. So thank you again, ladies. Truly appreciate it. Thank you for your time and hope to see you around hanging out and
Sure.
partying a little bit.
All right.
Thank you to everybody for joining. Do tune in at 3:30. We're having the DWF crew to talk about their experience and how they're enjoying. DWF sent 3 other people, so we really want to take advantage of that and talk to them as a group and get a little insight of how they're really enjoying Next Gen Live. So thank you again and see you soon.